Good morning to all of you and welcome to Chopra's School of Physics. And in the earlier classes, as I have discussed about the conceptual approach of electrostatics, we have discussed more about how to use electrostatic potential, the capacitance, the Coulomb's law of electrical force, and the various formulas and units. We are going to extend a few more illustrations and then we'll come to some other important concepts to be applied in the various portions of physics. However, in this short time, all the things cannot be covered. You can contact on the different numbers and we'll help you in that particular case. So first of all, we'll discuss a few more illustrations for the applications which we have discussed yesterday. Now, we are taking a question. I will again draw a diagram, and on the basis of diagram, we have to make the solution to the various physical quantities. Now, you will remember that in the examination, we don't get the diagrams much. We get the statements, and those statements are to be transformed into diagrams, and with the help of those diagrams, we have to solve the various physical quantities. But for your simplicity, I would like to draw a diagram so that you can understand the question nicely, and then you must understand the solution. Now, our application is regarding application of the various formulas to the concepts of atom or the nucleus. Like for example, we take hydrogen atom. So here we have taken H atom, that is hydrogen atom. You must remember for hydrogen atom, the central part, that is a nucleus. And this nucleus is made up of one proton. As I have explained to you earlier also, that the charge of proton is same as that of electron. And the charge of proton or electron can be indicated by plus minus E modulus. When we write plus E, that indicates proton, and when we write minus E, that indicates electron. However, the nucleus is made up of proton, so the modulus or the magnitude of proton charge, that is E, and its numerical value, that is 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. So this is the charge. So central charge is plus E. The radius of the orbit, that is taken as R, and as we know that electrons revolve around the nucleus. So here there is an electron, and electron is revolving around the nucleus. So our question is, there is a hydrogen atom, the central charge is plus E, that is made up of proton. Electron is revolving around the nucleus. The radius of the orbit is R. Now, in this we have to make very important calculations. A simple calculation is there, or a simple question. We have to estimate like V. V stands for speed. That is the speed of electron. So more elaborately, it should be VE. VE means speed of electron. Then, second thing we have to find, number 2, that is TE. I am putting a question mark, means Our question is find speed of electron around the nucleus, the time period of electron around the nucleus. You are aware of that the time period means time taken by electron to complete one revolution. That is what the meaning of time period. I hope this is clear to you. That is, T stands for time period, and time period, that is time taken to complete one revolution around the nucleus. The another thing is number 3, that is to find current I. I have written here IE, that is current constituted by electron around the nucleus. Because whenever electron revolves or electron moves, it constitutes current. You will remember that the stationary electrons, they are static charges, they don't constitute current. But moving charges constitute current. So here electron is moving around the nucleus, so it is obvious that it will have to constitute current. You will also remember that current is estimated in amperes. So ampere will be a unit for current. The smaller multiples are microamperes and milliamperes. 1 microampere, 10 to the power minus 6 ampere, and 1 milliampere, 10 to the power minus 3 amperes. The third thing is we have to estimate current due to electron around the nucleus. Number 4, that is we have to estimate the total energy of electron around the nucleus. Total energy. Now because electron is moving and the speed of electron is very high, nearly 1/10 the velocity of light. So electron is exhibiting dual character. Electron will be moving as a particle in the form of wave. So electron is indicating both the particle as well as the wave character. And that wavelength of electron is called de Broglie wavelength. So you remember now the 5th item to be estimated, de Broglie wavelength of electron. So this is the question and these are the events to be estimated. So before solving the question, we must know certain important concepts as well as the formulas. For this question, first of all, you must understand electron is revolving. Whenever electron is revolving, there must be some force which compels the electron to revolve. So, first of all, a point must appear in your head that why electron is revolving. What makes the electron to revolve? You will remember, electron will revolve because of centripetal force, centrally directed force. So what is concept number 1? The concept number 1, we must know FCP. FCP means centripetal force, and the formula of centripetal force is mv square over r. Centripetal force is mv square over r, where r is the radius of the orbit, m is the mass of electron, and v is the speed. So you will remember the mass of electron is normally 9.1 10 to the power minus 31 kilograms. This is the value of the mass of electron. Centripetal force is to be adopted. Now our question arises that who provides the centripetal force to electron for evolution? Now, if you slightly use your brain, you will find that electron is a negatively charged particle, proton is a positively charged particle. The proton and electron, they will mutually attract, because according to Coulomb's law we know like charges repel and unlike charges attract. Here we are finding one is positive charge, other is negative charge. So both are mutually attracting each other. Question arises, who will attract more? Is the attractive force balanced? No. We will find electron has more mass as compared to electron. Proton has more mass as compared to electron. You will remember the mass of a proton is 1.66 10 to the power minus 27 kilograms. We find that the mass of proton is greater than mass of electron by at least 10 to the power 4 times, 10,000 times. So, we are finding here that electron and proton both are mutually attracting, and the net attraction will be towards the nucleus. Net attraction is towards the nucleus. Proton will attract the electron more because the mass of proton is more as compared to electron. So now you will remember that when electron revolve around the nucleus, it is under the action of centripetal force. Centripetal force compels the electron to revolve. And you will remember who will provide this centripetal force. This centripetal force is provided by electrical force of attraction. Fe means electrical force of attraction. I will repeat it. Electron when revolve around the nucleus, electron is revolving because of the centripetal force. Centripetal force is given by this function, mv square by r. M is the mass, v is the speed, r is the radius of the orbit. And this centripetal force is provided by electrical force of attraction between the nucleus and electron. Therefore, electron must fall into the nucleus because this force is more, electrical force of attraction, but electron is not falling into the nucleus because there is a reactionary force. This reactionary force is called the centrifugal force. So you will now remember that third force in action is centrifugal force. It is outward, centripetal force is inward force. So it means that centripetal force and electrical force, their magnitudes are equal and balanced by centrifugal force. So now, I will write here that when electron revolve, it is under the action of two forces. One force is outward, other force is inward. The outward force is supposed to be the centrifugal force. Inward force is supposed to be electrical force comparable to centripetal force. I hope this fact is clear to you. So now we will say the magnitude of electrical force and the magnitude of centrifugal force, they are equal, directions opposite. So I have made two arrows here, directions opposite. Electrical force is estimated by Coulomb's law, and centrifugal force has the value same as that of centripetal force. So now I will compute here K Q1 Q2 divided by R square equals to mv square over R. What we have done, we have removed the modulus, means all the quantities are positive. So what should we do? For Q1, compute plus E. For Q2, compute minus E. Minus sign will become positive because we are taking modulus. The modulus of a negative number is positive. So now the whole thing will be written as K multiplied E multiplied minus E. Minus sign is ignored because we are taking magnitudes. So K multiplied E multiplied minus E will become K E square over R square, and that is mv square over R. So what we are finding, K square by R square is mv square by R. Our aim was to estimate speed. What we have done, our assumption is electron is revolving, and for revolution the force is centripetal force. This force is provided by electrical force of attraction between the nucleus and electron. So electrical force is estimated by Coulomb's law, and the magnitude of this force is equal to centrifugal force. Centrifugal force has a magnitude equal to centripetal force. However, the two forces are acting on the electron are electrical and centrifugal. Centrifugal has the same magnitude as centripetal force. So what we have done mathematically, we have written electrical force modulus equals to centrifugal force modulus. So for Q1 and Q2 we have computed E and minus E, but being we are taking modulus, a number will become positive, so it should become K square by R square, and that will be equal to mv square by R. However, we should put a negative sign here, but we are not putting. We know it is a reactionary force, but the modulus will be positive, so we are not taking into consideration the sign. From both sides cancel off R. So it is R, this is R square, so R will be left. Now make the subject of equation as speed. So V square will be, take M in the denominator, and we can write the formula V square equals to, it will be K E square over R. So M is in the denominator, V square will be how much? K square by Rn. We are interested to estimate speed, so speed of electron. We'll write here more elaborately, speed of electron. Take square root of both sides. So now we have to take the square roots. VE square will be written as V, and this will be written as E times K over R. So what we are finding, the speed of electron around the nucleus, E times the square root K by R. We wanted to find speed, so we have expressed speed in terms of radius. So if the radius is known to us, we can estimate speed. And you will remember, we are adopting MK system, speed must be in meters per second. So E times K by R. One very important thing in this formula is how many constants are there. E is one of the constant, its value is this one. So electron of proton charge remains constant, that never changes, so E is constant. Another thing is K. As I have explained you in my earlier lectures, that K is 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So K is also constant. M stands for mass of electron, and mass of electron is 9.1 10 to the power minus 31 kilograms. So E, K and M, These are all constants. Therefore, we have reached to a solution that velocity of or speed of electron that is inversely proportional to square root of radius, or it is inversely proportional to r to the power 1 over 2. I hope this is clear. This is how we make the calculations for speed. Involvement is of centripetal force, which is numerically equal to centrifugal force. The centripetal force and the centrifugal force, their magnitudes are equal, but directions are opposite. But centripetal force is comparable to electrical force. So we have written, when electrons revolve around the nucleus, these two forces are equal in magnitude, but opposite in direction. And then we have applied the various formulas and we have reached to conclusion that is speed of electron is E times the square root k by r. So I hope that this type of application you might have followed it nicely, and we'll continue with a few more illustrations, and in the other lecture we'll find that we'll try to estimate the remaining quantities. I'll give idea for the various quantities, but then for other important questions you can contact our site. Thank you very much.